Welcome back, everyone, to another review on Everything iCafe. Today we're going to be reviewing an app called Flight Plus. This is usually a paid app, $3.99 for the iPad and $1.99 for iPhone, but it actually just got released as a free app, and that is because there's a whole bunch of advertisements. So I'm going to go ahead and take you through the app. So let me turn on location services here. Just have airplane mode enabled. I'm going to go back and let it connect. Okay, so let me take you through the app. So the first thing is flights. Notice on the flight screen that I have two. These aren't actually flights that I'm on or that I care about, but I just added them as examples. If you want to add a flight, on the top right, there's a little plus button there, if you can see that. If you click on that plus button, okay, so this is actually a little bit of what is annoying about this app. So right now, they just released this free version, but it is I would use the word infested with those pesky iAds popping up all the time. There's ads on the bottom, and you'll see there's even ads built into some of the UI. So not too great of a free version, but it does let you kind of look at everything if you don't mind dealing with those ads. So I might get interrupted again throughout this review, but just know that that will happen to you too if you're using this. So all my flights shows here. If I click on the plus that I just showed you on the top right, you have all these fields that you have the option to fill in. The more you fill in, the more concise it's going to be. Since they're all optional, I'm just going to hit search and let what comes up come up. So first things first, notice that little white bar, and in a second that is going to be ads. What that does is push the UI down so much that you can only see about one and a half of these flights at a time, which is a little bit annoying, but they're still here. If you click on one, you can hit add this flight or add flight to trip. I'm just going to hit add this flight, and you'll see if I go to all my flights that I have all three of them there now. Past flights, because these have already passed, and this is a current one. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is go over to the airports. This is probably my favorite part of the app because it lets you explore and kind of even learn about all these different airports. The app contains 16,200 airports, which is more than I thought were even in existence, at least major airports. You can search for the airport name or just the city. So I'm going to type New York, and what are we going to see? John F. Kennedy International Airport. It'll show you the weather, the average delay time, the time in New York. So if I click on that, it'll take you to a little details page about the airport. But this isn't where it ends. You can actually, on the right here, see the flight board. So this is the airport's flight board, all the flight numbers, if they're scheduled, if they're on time, etc. The weather, so you can actually see a detailed weather 10-day forecast, which is very nice. A terminal map, which is awesome. If you're actually going to fly out of here and you're not familiar with the airport, you can click on one of the terminals. It'll pop it up and show you how that terminal looks from kind of a high level. Or at least it should. Just give it a second here. We'll try one more time. Alright, that's fine, but it'll just pop a bigger picture up. And if I go over to the flight map, you'll actually see out of JFK all these flights, so you can kind of pan around and see where all JFK flies to. Very cool feature there too. And I believe, now here's the terminal map that I was talking about, so you can actually zoom in, pan around, see where everything is. This is pretty helpful if you're going to be there. Okay, moving along, we're going to go to the airline screen. So on the airline screen, it's laid out very similar to how the airport screen is laid out, except this time you're looking at airlines. So let's do another one that most people should be familiar with. Let's say US Airways. So right off the bat, you see flights today, 12:56. If I click on it, I'll get a whole bunch of information. Oh, and here goes the ads again, right? So if I click on that, you'll see a whole bunch of information about US Airways, including their Twitter feed in the middle here, little about section, and a little specifications over on the right. In addition, you can see that airline's flight board, so everything's scheduled for US Airways, regardless of the airport, and a flight map, and this will show you everywhere that US Airways flies. Obviously, centered in the US, but going to Europe, Hawaii, Alaska, things like that. Over in the map section, this will actually show flights that you've been on, that you have saved in this kind of form, and you can actually click on the airport to be taken directly to that airport page. Just another way to visualize your past flights, similar to the flights menu. And then last but not least is the settings page. This just gives you settings to do minimal data traffic mode, which will do less frequent live updates. iCloud settings, so if you have this on your iPhone and your iPad, you can keep them in sync with one another. and then just map types, temperature unit, distance unit, using knots for speeds, a little social plugin here for Facebook, and auto add flights to calendar. So what I would suggest is if you are a frequent flyer, this is a great app to have. Most likely you're going to want to pay for it so you don't get those little pesky ads that show up. If you are not a frequent flyer, I would recommend just downloading the free version of the app, and you could basically do some research on airlines, airports, deal with the ads. They're not that big of a deal, and all the features are there. Another thing this does is it'll send you notifications of your flights. So as your flight is going to be on time, if it's delayed, when it's set to arrive, things like that. So that can also be very useful. So I hope you enjoyed this review of Flight Plus, and I will see you guys next time.